All right. Oh man, I got my title shirt on and everything.
We are live. Welcome to another episode of Tough Talk Tuesday. As always, I'm your host, Lucas Biggers. Alongside me will be Hector Gomez and our special guest today, Steve Cunningham. What's going on, Steve?
Hey, I'm all right. I'm doing all right, man. Doing good.
First, I want to congratulate you on the new baby. I saw that on Facebook.
Oh yeah, yeah. Thanks. What a surprise. But it's all right. You know, Cruz is a surprise, and we can't imagine a family without him. So here we go again.
Another round.
Yeah, man. Ooh, goodness.
All right, I kind of wanted to continue kind of where we left off. I know you had a pretty successful talk on Facebook Live there about PEDs.
Oh yeah.
It did get somewhat ridiculous at some points.
No
Uh,
doubt.
we're not we're not going to go that far, into things. And for Hector too, if we do touch any touchy subjects, no names to be mentioned. Okay.
Oh yeah. We can go deep, but I just won't touch on names. Like I said, if I mention names, I could be sued because there's no evidence. But you mugs that will be listening, I know you. I know who's using. Man, listen. I'm gonna tell you this little thing. There's no. I'm not gonna use any names, but there's an ex-fighter who used to use PEDs that I know and a few of my other fighter friends know. This guy used to spend almost $60,000 a camp on PEDs, and
Wow.
um, now he's not a boxer anymore, but he supplies the PEDs to athletes, not just boxing athletes, football, basketball, and I mean NBA, NFL. And there's a new NFL player that's getting a lot of noise, and he's like that's his favorite customer, So this thing is ridiculous, So like with me filing, I was gonna file against Harvard, and I was basically instructed it won't go anywhere because they won't allow it, because if Steve Cunningham wins a case against Tarver, it changes the face of sports, basketball, boxing, everything, soccer, whatever sports, MMA, and it's like my money's not that long, to fight, fight against the powers that be that's behind us. There's a lot of money in play, man, and they're gonna pay, man. Let's look at the Olympics, man. Look at that the whole Russian team, it's crazy, man. This stuff, there's so much money behind this that we can't even fathom it, man.
It's scary. I mean, how, and like you said before, I mean, it's not a strict enough penalty. It's not just for PEDs either. I mean, look at Margarito. He got caught with hand wraps. He's out a year. That doesn't
Exactly.
make any sense.
And then even with him and Tito Trinidad, it's like for me being a fighter and being a clean fighter, and I mean even to the point of someone doing something dirty to me, like okay, take for instance the Tyson Fury fight. Oh man, he was doing that to you. I mean almost everybody I know in the hood is like, man, why you ain't do this to him? Why you ain't do it back to him? And it's just like, me personally, if I can't beat you in the boxing ring on my boxing abilities, then I won't feel like a champion. I won't feel like I won. So you got guys like Margarito and Trinidad who use these things to, and like I said, they probably use them most of their career. They didn't. I don't think they just started using them for those fights. So it's like you got to question their whole career now.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, it's something that is hard to correct. I mean,
Yeah.
especially even for us media, what can we do? Like, how can we go about helping?
So this is what I was saying as I stated, like with the media, and I understand the business side of boxing. When it comes to the media having to get credentials, they have to get, you know what I mean? You have to get into the venue. It's your career. This is the way you forward your career. You have to get these interviews with fighters. But also, the media they have a job to do for the fans, and they have to uphold this relationship with the fighter. And what the media should do is like I was saying, call it like it is. We know ex-fighter got called for steroids. He got suspended. Let's say Tarver, because we know he was. Tarver, we can use his name. Tarver was suspended with the KO fight for using steroids. Okay, damn. Then he gets suspended. I mean, then he gets caught for Cunningham. So it's like, wow, the people should be asking the questions. Why is this dude? The media should put it out there. Why is this dude still dealing in boxing? Period. He shouldn't even be able to look at boxing right now. I might be a little extreme because I'm biased, but so with the media can play a big part in this. The media can help spearhead a movement of proper morale, where it's like, okay, we know Tarver popped on the test. Say, for instance, Tarver beat me. Oh, Tarver beat Cunningham. Then he pops on the test, and it's still a win, possibly, or whatever. Then it's like the media should say it like it is, This is what happened. You keep saying like this. We're not going to buy that crap. Okay, prime example, like I said, my second fight with Tomas Adamek. Everybody knew I beat that fight. Whoever watched it. It was no doubt in my mind. Even after they robbed me, I still feel like I won because I know he knows it. So, but the media plays a big role in it. When the media goes along with the robbery, and then it's just like, oh, well, I mean, and you got to look at it like this. Like I was telling Kathy Dubin, them, this hurts me. It still hurts me. It hurts my career because they're like, oh, no, it was a good fight and everybody saw you win. I'm like, yeah, everybody saw I won. But in 10 years, 2 years, when this fight is gone out of people's minds, they're going to look at BoxRec and see Steve Cunningham lost to Tomas Adamek, So the people, or in 15 to 20 years, people might be dead now, and people are going to look back, hey, Cunningham got his ass kicked by Adamek twice. Oh, who was this guy? So, that goes into, it's my name that's being tarnished, And so what media can do is not go along with the Adamek wins a unanimous decision. No, Adamek did not win a split decision, unanimous decision. Adamek got his ass kicked, and he got a damn gift, and he shouldn't be moved. The media, you have the ear of the people. I was telling another guy in the media, I don't know if it was you, but he was talking. I was telling him about these judges. We were talking about how these judges, and man, I don't even have the list. We used to have a list on judges who did this screwy crap, and it seemed slick, seemed like they were on the payroll or whatever. It just was fishy. All of these fights that certain judges were judging that were bull, and so that we wouldn't have those judges in my fight, So we had a list, but there's so many of them, it's like, man, something needs to be done. So now, like I was saying, what the media can do and what the fans can do, because the power is the fans. The fans make the money. They pay to see us fight. That's how everybody gets paid. And if I told the guy, the fans can form like a fan committee. I don't know what the name could be, an organization or whatever, and that organization can rally the fans and basically bring up these issues of, this fighter's known for using steroids, or he failed a couple tests and he's not clean. We don't think he's clean. This dude his fight should be boycotted. Something. Same thing with the judge. This judge should not judge this fight. This judge should not judge that fight. Why? Because he scored the fight for Adamek in Steve Cunningham's fight. He scored the fight for, Marcos Maidana in the Floyd Mayweather fight, or he scored the fight for for Trinidad against Bernard Hopkins. And it's like, wow, that dude is crazy. He's either crazy on the take or just doesn't know his job. And either way, either one of those, we don't need him. So the media and fans, you guys can spearhead something. The fan can do this commission or this organized. I guess it could be like a commission or organization, and the media can get behind it and help push it. The powers that be, the promoters and the big wigs, the television, they don't really care about the fighter. Most of them, they don't really care about the fighter. They don't care if Steve Cunningham gets in there and gets his jaw split from Tarver, who's on PEDs, who's using a masking agent to mask this PEDs that give him power. They don't care about that. All they care is, was it a good fight? Did we fill the house? How much did we make? And that's the business side. So, I mean, there needs to be something done. I mean, and I know it is all talk, but that's where everything starts, with the talk.
Yeah, and like you said, though, and it is true, you say bad things about that golden child of that promoter,
yeah,
we're going to get dogged. We're not going to get allowed in.
Right.
Prime example is Steve Kim.
Oh
He's not.
yeah,
He's really big on talking about Mayweather and how he sees it as it is. He's one of the best writers, or one of the
yeah,
most well-known writers, I should say, in boxing,
yeah.
and he's not allowed in a Mayweather fight. And if they can stop him, I mean, they definitely gonna
No
stop
doubt.
me.
And that's the thing. It was like nobody's coming down on you guys like hard, like, man, well, F media, because y'all should be there. We understand. I mean, shoot, look at me, um, or any fighter. If a fighter really goes out on the limb against the promoter's star or anybody, that hey, you could see. I mean, shoot, listen, I was signed to Don King for 8 years. So I know about some shady. I know about some shady business. I know about fighters getting blackballed because they didn't want to play ball the way he wanted them to play. I've seen it with my own eyes. I was in the office with some of this stuff going down. So I know that's real, and I know fighters can get blackballed. And damn, if a fighter can get blackballed, I know media can. And it's just an unfair situation because at the end of the day, the fighter gets screwed around. He gets dick. He possibly gets hurt. I mean, I got a dented bone in my face from a fighter who we suspected was on PEDs. We didn't know, but his brother was a PED user, in another sport. So we believe this guy was too. But I know I've beat guys on PEDs before, and I was kicking his butt in this fight too until the doctor saved him and stopped the fight. But it's just I know media can get blackballed because you guys really don't have the money. And most media is dudes who really like boxing. Some guys who wanted to box but didn't, or some guys who did box but didn't go as far. And it's like, hey, I want to be a part of it somehow. I really love this sport, so I want to tell the story. I want to be in it. And you found a niche, and there's nobody backing you. There's no money behind you. There's no company. There's no corporation, and it's just one of them things, man. It's like, how do we do it though? Change needs to happen. Um, I know after my Tarver situation, I was like, the way I believe, really me personally, I believe the only way change is going to happen is when a fighter gets killed or seriously harmed by another fighter that pops on the test. Then there's going to be an outcry for, oh, what do you shouldn't do this, we should do that. But it's going to be too late for some dude, for somebody, and that's the damn bad part, and that's the super bad part.
Yeah, and you touch on that. In other sports, you talk about, with PEDs and steroids, the integrity of the game. That's what people worry about. But in boxing, when your job is, to try to knock the other guy out,
Yeah.
that's when it gets serious, and that's when, there definitely needs to be a higher penalty for breaking those rules.
There needs to be when I called I have a lawyer, John Horner. He's Vladimir's lawyer and Floyd's lawyer. And we talked about the Tarver thing and filing, and he basically was like, hey, dude, it ain't gonna go nowhere, man. So, but I had another lawyer as a sponsor, so he's like, call him up and talk to him about it, see if he'll file this and that. So I talked to this guy in Philly, and what he said to me, and I was just like, wow, man, this is crazy. I said, that's how I got to the point to where I'm like, somebody's going to have to get seriously hurt by a PED user. So I told him I want to file against Tarver, and I didn't know the law, you know what I mean? But I had told media that, I was adamant about it, and I was like, hey, I will file a personal suit against a fighter who pops against him, I believe it's like, he's endangering my life on purpose. So it's like I have to do something. So I told the lawyer, I said, hey, listen, how about we just file the suit just so I can say I filed it, because I know it won't go anywhere because I don't have that type of money to go against, big companies. So he was like, well, you can't just file a suit and do nothing about it. That's a frivolous lawsuit. So I'm like, true. And then he's like, really, if you did file and you wanted to pursue it, he said it still wouldn't go anywhere. And I'm like, why? And he's like, because he said, were you hurt after the fight? So I said, well, yeah, I had a swollen lip and a swollen eye. And he was like, no, outside of normal boxing injuries. And I was like, no, I went to the hotel room that night, went to sleep, just put ice on myself. So he was like, well, there's really no damage. So it's like, here it is, you already have a sport where to win the sport is who can inflict the most damage on somebody, literally. And then now you have an athlete who cheats, by making himself stronger and endure pain more, or just be able to endure more and go harder longer, to inflict more damage. And basically, the only way you can really do something is if you sustain more damage than you normally do. It's crazy, man.
And the stupidest part is you can get sued just for saying, I think that dude took PEDs.
Yeah. No,
What?
you can say that, yeah. But
Yeah.
good thing, like I said, I'm only using the name Tarver. So good thing
Yeah.
he came back, positive on both tests. And I mean, but look at this guy. He goes on his. I mean, and this is the thing about star power. We know Tarver's a star. He's on the Rocky movie. He's the guy who stopped Roy Jones, which I say is questionable now. I mean, 2 failed PED tests. Come on, bro. But he stops Roy Jones with 1 clean punch, and he's a star. And he's been in everybody's household. Everybody who saw the Rocky movies knows Tarver. So I'm at the fight, and I see when I'm fighting Tarver, what's the guy's name? I don't remember. The guy who helped train Rocky. Paul, is that his name, Paulie?
Oh, Polly was his wife's brother. His
White
brother.
brother. That's it. He's ringside. And I'm like, wow. So then I get back to the hotel, and I watch the rebroadcast of the fight, and the commentary is all Tarver because it was his network. It was Spike TV that he commentates on. And I'm like, wow, everything is old. Tarver's 40-something years old, and look at him. And it's like, man, they mentioned Tarver was a world champion in light heavyweight and this and that, but they didn't even mention Steve Cunningham, 2-time cruiserweight world champ. I was like, damn, I ain't doing nothing in this sport. So this dude is such a star that he can't do no wrong. So after he pops on the test, he goes and does his video, and he's like, they set me up. Lou DiBella and Steve Cunningham set me up. Man, I'm like, oh, hold up. I know Lou, you know what I mean? I know Lou, but I don't know Lou, like that. For him to put his career on the line to help me try to win, and the guys, you know me, I've been in Germany and Poland. I never needed anybody to help me win or ask, so why start now? But his whole day, and I'm like, damn, who's this, the Illuminati? Are we part of the Illuminati now? I didn't get the membership card yet. I don't know, but this guy. So with him using that, making these excuses with the fan base, that's the thing about fans, man. They will ride or die with you till the damn wheels fall off, and they, yeah, Tarver, you this and yeah, and lying. It's like, wow, he failed the test twice, B and A sample. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean the problem also with the fans, they're very hard to convince that a fight is a mismatch. Let alone something as along the lines of PEDs and getting behind a fighter like that.
You're right. You're right about that mismatch thing, man.
The point is Danny Garcia, Salka. Okay, I badmouthed that fight as soon as it came out. I'm like, the dude's not even ranked.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter. Apparently, like almost 2 million people tuned into that fight. It's one of the highest PBC rated fights.
Because this is the thing. Most boxing fans, like, let's say, all right, let's go with, we got 100% boxing fans right here. Out of those boxing fans, we got, let's say, 25 that are boxing fans. That other 75% are people who just want to see somebody get beat up. They just want to see somebody get knocked out. I mean, you guys see it at the fights. Drinking a beer, knock them out. Knock them out. And it's just like, is there anything else to boxing, bro? Do you need anything else? A jab or what? Footwork? Knock them out. Just knock them half out. And see a guy, hey, man, what's your name? Steve Cunningham. What weight class you fight? Cruiserweight. When you going to fight Floyd Mayweather?
Oh, man.
Dude, if I had a 5-piece for every time I heard that, I wouldn't have to box. When you're going to fight Manny Pacquiao, I'd be like, my teenager's about taller than them, man. Like, so these guys, man, the boxing fans are, the average person who wants to relax and chill and see some entertainment. I want to see blood, and so you put Salka, who is my homie. I'm in Pittsburgh now, so we're cool, but It was a mismatch. You know, he moved up, what, 2 weight classes to fight Danny? He knew it was a mismatch. We even talked about the fight. He knew it was a mismatch. But you can't blame a guy like Salka for going after that champion. You know, that's the champion in Rod. But then, can you blame Danny for, hey man, I know I'm gonna beat this dude and make a quick 700,000-800,000 plus. You know, you can't really blame Danny either. You know, so it's like, damn. You know, just hope Rod don't get hurt.
Right. You can really hurt somebody with that different levels.
You're right.
Another current one, Canelo-Khan. The media ate
I was
that.
pulling for Khan, bro.
The media ate it up.
Yeah.
I went on there, badmouthed it, and then all these fans are like, Khan has a chance, and Khan's gonna win. And
that was me, man. I was one of them guys because I'm the underdog root. You know, I root for the underdog. I've been the underdog all my career, and every time I see a fight, it can be Floyd Mayweather versus Emmanuel Augustus, and by the third or fourth round, I'm yelling stuff to Emmanuel Augustus to do, you know, because I'm just, you know, the underdog. So with Khan fighting Canelo, no doubt, I knew Canelo should beat him. Most likely he will beat him. But the glory side of it is Khan outboxes this dude for 12 rounds. That would have been awesome. But it ain't happening.
Well, going on that, what do you think about Triple G and Kell Brook?
Same thing, man. I mean, really, I gotta see these guys. I haven't seen the face off. You know, I haven't seen them face off or looked at the numbers. But what Kell Brook was saying is he's been killing himself to make the weight, which, I mean, you can expect the fighter to say that. He knows he's moving up into the damn, you know, to a bigger weight class. He's got to say something to make it seem like he can perform there. Triple G, a damn gold medalist. This dude is knocking dudes out, hitting them on the top of the head, you know, and that's the place we're told you don't want to hit nobody, you know, because it'll hurt your hand.
Break your hand.
Dude's going to sleep, you know, so it's going to be possibly most likely the same thing as Khan Canelo, you know. I mean, but then you got to look at the fighters now. Triple G, he gets another payday. He gets to look glorious in front of his fans, as we just said. Fans don't give a damn who you knock out, as long as you knock them out. So they happy. Then you got the fighter making a payday, and then Kell Brook, you get the glory, the opportunity to beat Triple G, which is wow, that's dope. If I could get down to that weight, I'd try it. You know, but you know, for the glory, that's the glory of a champion, and he's going to get a damn healthy payday. So it's like, what are we gonna? You know, the sport is what it is. It's a sport, and people are going to make decisions like that are going to piss the knowledgeable ones off us. You know, it's going to make us be like, wow, what the hell's going on? But then you see the majority like, yeah, California, Triple G is going to be awesome, and we're like, yeah, right. It's going to be awesome for 5-6 rounds until hopefully Kell Brook doesn't get hurt. You know, and tell you the truth. You know, so. It's really crazy, man. I just hope and pray that there's more how do I say this? It's just more respect to the craft by everybody, not just the fighter, but boxing media, judges, especially referee, and promotion. You know.
I agree, and it's one of them things. It's frustrating to watch. And it leaves us feeling kind of hopeless, like, what do we do next? And we did try once. I think it was the Brian Vera versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. That first fight that they had. I thought, and most of my team thought, Vera clearly won that. We got some petitions together, sent it to the Nevada State Athletic Commission, and said, you know, a lot of these people here signed below. You know, they say that you guys should at least review this fight. It falls upon deaf ears.
This is the thing. Now, oh man, I'm telling you, listen. When I'm done with boxing and we write our book, it's gonna be interesting because we've been through that, we've been through this, we've been through that, I mean, in my career, I've been boxing 16 years, man. I've been through some ups and downs that a lot of guys probably would put a gun in their head, you know. But you know, we weathered through it, but. My example, like you said, with the Tyson Fury fight. Now, you guys saw the Tyson Fury fight. He used his forearm. He held me there and then KO'd me. I didn't even see the punch, man. My face was turned like this. But in the New York State Athletic Commission's rules, it states exactly what he did was illegal. I mean, exactly to the word, man. You cannot use a forearm or wrist to pin a fighter and hit him. That's a disqualification. So me and my wife, my lawyer, even Pat English, main events lawyer, we were all teamed up, went through the rules and bylaws of the commission. We were like, boom, we got slammed up. Shoot, I'm on social media like, yeah, something's gonna get changed. I wasn't able to speak about it, but I'm like, oh yeah, okay, because the Fury fans were coming at me. So I put out there like, oh yeah, well y'all gonna be mad in a couple weeks, So we go have the meeting with at the time was Melvina Lathan, and for some reason, sitting in that meeting, it's just like they were drones, they were just there to hear us vent, basically, and it took us that fight was April 4th, I believe, and it took us almost May 15th to get her on the phone, but the excuse was something with her husband, and we're like, lady, we've been calling you for 3 weeks. But she knew what we were calling for. She knew we were calling about this protest, and we spent the money, and no, it wasn't a money thing because it wasn't IBF. But we went to New York, talked with her. My wife showed her the rules and bylaws, and said, boom, this is what your rules say. This is what Fury did. You can look at the tape, the highlight. You can see it. So I'm just sitting there like, we get this disqualification, and 2-3 weeks later, it was we viewed the fight, and viewed the replay, and reviewed your complaint, and saw nothing was done illegal, nothing was done wrong. And I'm like, wow, how the F can you say that when you're rule? So it's like I don't even know. I try to equate it with the gambling, because listen, you got big fights like that. And our fight was to get to Vladimir, a step closer to Vladimir. So it was like, wow, what if you overturn that? What about the betting? The betting on the fights. What about this? What about that? Do they give the money back? What happens? So it's like, that has to stand. It's like I said, it's so much in play. You wonder why these people, they're not stupid. They saw it. They saw the forearm. I felt it. So but they won't change it, man. Like you said, it fell on deaf ears, but not blind eyes, man. And a petition can go here and go here, but one thing in boxing that I've noticed a long time ago is a fight. Once the fight happens, it's hot until the next fight. Whatever happened in that fight is on fire until the next, unless it's some Trinidad, Bernard Hopkins stopped Trinidad in the 12th, some on a super, on that level. But even still, that dwindles down too. It all dwindles down, but some dwindle down much faster. And Steve Cunningham versus Tyson Fury, that dwindled down quick. Steve Cunningham versus Antonio Tarver, that gets quiet quick. So, Tarver failed the test. 3 months later, we come back with the results. He failed the test. All right, so what? Steve Cunningham about to fight Blavatsky anyway. So, and that's what they think. But it's like, wow, man, what about my legacy? What about my name? What about, my career? What about my life? So, deaf ears.
Yeah, you think that's something you'll be able to at least, have a lawsuit over? I mean, if not necessarily him taking PEDs to hurt you,
yeah,
him taking PEDs and it's ruining, your legacy. It's almost like defamation of character in a way.
Exactly, it is, because really that fight was the reason I went back down to cruiserweight. I can still go back up to heavyweight. It doesn't matter to me. Just my thing is, I want to be on the path to a title. I don't want to just be fighting just to make a check. I will make money, but I don't want to just, what I'm saying? I don't want my career to be that. I want to have a goal, and I do want to be 3-time world champion, heavyweight, if it's get it at heavyweight or cruiserweight. But after the Tarver fight, I was second guessing myself, because I'm like, damn, here it is. We worked hard in camp, and I was putting that work on the sparring partners, and I got a great trainer, and he's like, man, we're gonna do something to Tarver, like, no one, this dude is too old, he's not as active. He said, we should probably end up stopping him, and I'm like, I believe so too. So we get in there, and I'm hitting him with the same stuff, and I'm putting umph on him, and he's eating this stuff, and I'm like, oh wow, okay, all right, it's gonna be a long night. You know, I didn't go in there and think I was just gonna blow him out the water, no doubt. He still is a good fighter, don't get me wrong. But after a while, a dude that's what 46, 47, he dwindles, especially up against an athlete like me. You know, so after the fight, here it is. I'm thinking, I'm beating myself up. Damn, I can't make this dude feel pain. You know, this 45-year-old beer belly looking, guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, man, like what the freak? Like now I'm second guessing me, my skills, my team, what we did, and it's just like, man, well, all right, because I was out of the cruiserweight division. I was like, I'm cool. I'm gonna stay heavyweight. I was comfortable with being a heavyweight. Those big guys don't scare me. So, but and it's like, well, let's think about cruiserweight, man. And then it creeps in. So that helped steer me towards cruiserweight even more. If I would have got the decision, and that's another thing, a draw. I even forgot about that. It was a draw. So then if I would have got the win from the judges, it would have been cool. I would have still been a heavyweight. I probably would have challenged Areola or somebody else. Who knows? But it didn't go down like that, and then I go down to cruiserweight. But I mean, anywhere I am, I'm gonna fight regardless. But and I'm gonna do my best. But it just hurts. And I also told the fans, I'm like, Tarver basically robbed the fans who viewed the fight. He robbed them of an electrifying fight, because here it is. This guy takes the stuff. So he knows he's taking stuff that makes him stronger, that makes him powerful, that makes him have endurance. So all he knows to do is all I got to do is wait. Just watch the fight. You see this guy threw like 15 punches around, probably not even. And he's just waiting. Boom. That's all he wants to do. Once or twice around. And I caught on to what he was doing in the fifth round. I think at the fourth was the last time he caught me with a big left because he was just waiting. And I'm like, damn, we got to fight. Let's fight. And I'll go in and I open myself up a bit to him, and he cracked me. But it didn't shake me. It was just like, boom. I'm like, all right, keep going. But I'm like, this guy just robbed you guys of an electrifying fight, because had he not been on the pads, he'd been all over the place, But you got a Steve Cunningham who I really never had backing like that, So stuff has happened to me, man, that'll have you shaking your head, man. Oh my goodness.
I can imagine.
Steve, what do you have? Do you have anything concrete planned here in the near future?
Yeah, well, we're working, man. We are working. I'm staying cruiserweight, no doubt. I believe I can be a third-time world champion here. I believe I can do it at heavyweight, but I mean, right now, I guess cruiserweight is, we talk with, I'm with Al Heyman, so me and my wife and Al, we sat down, we talked, and it's like, all right, let's go for this cruiserweight thing. The Glavatsky fight, it was a good fight for the fans, not so much for me because I didn't come away with the win, but everybody liked it and they liked my performance. But I know what was going on wrong, and I will fix that. But I'm just trying to get back in there. I wanted to be back in there by the end of the summer, but we'll see. Hopefully by the end of October, I can get on. Hopefully I can get on that Bellew BJ Flores card in the UK. And just fight a UK cruiserweight or something, get back in the win column, whatever. Fight a decent name, and then challenge, Glavatsky or whoever wins that fight, or the Bellew fight, or whatever. I'm going for titles, man. I'm going for titles. That's the plan. We did reach out to Bellew to fight next, but Al told us they're not interested. They wasn't interested in Cunningham, and it's like, here it is. You have me, the 40-year-old fighter, but even in loss, I'm sending messages. People like, man, I don't want to deal with that. And it's like, damn, like the freak, you damned if you good and you damned if you ain't good. But I'd rather be damned because I'm good. So whatever.
We respect you for not, being a gimmick. There's a lot of people out there that are like that now.
Yeah.
Question for you: do you believe that fighters would be able to actually create a union? Would they go for it?
Yeah. You say if they go for it? if they go for it, the thing is, and then this is America, and we know what works in America is numbers. We need all the fighters to get on board, and it might take a few fighters not fighting, you know what I mean? But at on that level of Floyd, Andre Ward, you know what I mean, saying something really coming out, you know what I mean, being like, yo, we need this. But at that level, they're making so much money, they don't care, you know. They don't give a damn. I'm cool now, and I'm not saying I know Andre Ward. I'm just using his name for his stardom. Right. But a Floyd, these guys on that level of we making tens of millions. We are the show. Boxing would have went down a hole if we didn't have a Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao for so many years. With these big shows, giving opportunities to everybody, fighters, everybody. So we need at least one or two of them type of guys to stand up with us and be like, this needs to be done. We need to do something. Everybody, fighters, get the fighters together and bring something. Try to bring the promoters in, media, management, lawyers. But I don't think it's going to happen without that. With Steve Cunningham, you get your Lamont Brewster, you know what I'm saying? Your Chris Bird, all of these older guys, and you know what I'm saying? We're going to make noise, no doubt, because Steve Cunningham, I'm 40 years old. I probably got 3 more years left at the most. Of course I'm gonna be vocal because I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I'm not gonna say anything that's gonna mess me up. But still, you know how it is. I'm gonna be more vocal. But we need a Danny Garcia. We need Spence. You know what I mean? We need a Porter, a Thurman. We need them type of guys to step up and be part of that in order for it to come through. We need the stars of the day to come up. And then if they get on board from the gate, all them other fighters, because everybody's looking at them, all these other fighters, they're looking at us, they're looking at them, trying to be like that. So they'll follow suit, Yo, man, Porter, you my favorite. I know that. Heard numerous fights say, yo, Steve Cunningham, man, you inspire me. You my favorite fighter. Yo, man, I really appreciate what you're doing, champ. Shoot, even on Facebook, sometimes people say some stuff, and I'll be like, whoa, bro, oh, Cunningham, anything you do, I'm with you. You mean anything I do, it's crazy, So, but we need them stars to do it. We need them stars to spearhead.
I agree. Hell, I mean, you take 3% of Mayweather's probably last paycheck, it can get it funded, and
right.
Not only that, hell, it can help send a small paycheck to some of the retired, boxers and champs. They're out here. Some of them are on the streets. I mean,
yeah, you're right.
And they don't deserve that. I mean, these guys work hard, and it's sad to see. I don't want to see this anymore. So
you're right, man.
We'll do what we can. I mean, us here at the Heavy Bag Boxing, we're pretty limited, but we'll do what we can, see what we can do. Send out some tweets, other stuff like that.
I mean, and what else? That's all you can do right now, because at the end of the day, everybody's got to eat. Boxing is the way you guys eat, probably. I don't know if it's your soul, whatever, or if it's just for fun or whatever. But still, even if it's for fun, this is your hobby. You want it to go smooth. But like you said though, we need something to get done. Something does need to be done, and nothing's going to get done overnight though. That's it. That's the major thing. So just little times, little tweets, little this. Keep doing shows like this, bringing it up, putting them out there, and hopefully one day we will get that that boxing that foundation of a system that will help boxing. I mean, McCain, I guess he probably would have helped. If he had become president, he was a boxing fan, that would have been cool. He would have helped spearhead it, hopefully, but we don't know because he didn't win.
What would help is if it wasn't all separated from state to state, too,
Yeah.
You have different rules per state and all these different commissions. We need to kind of unite all that, and that'll at least help bring the sport together somewhat.
It will, man, but until then, man, we got to put up with this crap. I know me and Chris Bird, we talked, we're pretty close, and we were talking years ago, and we were saying, which I'm going to bring back up to him, and we were saying about how we wanted to do a class because you mentioned fighters are broke, a lot of the old retired fighters are broke, they're in the street. So we were thinking one of the things that could help that issue is educating the fighter when he comes into the professionals. So for me, as an example, when I was an amateur, I was a national champion. I was this champ, regional champ, that champion, boom, boom, that. So I'm thinking when I turn pro, I'm going to get the signing bonus. I'm going to get this and that. And it was a rude awakening. You know, I ain't getting none of that. And even as a top 10 or top 3 WBC, and that was re-up on the contract, it was still slick tricks that Don King did that I wouldn't dare ask for a signing bonus, you know, for a re-up. But we were thinking of holding like an indoctrination class for fighters to basically help them on their entry to the professions in the area of what to expect. You know what I'm saying? Not saying this is exactly how it's going to go because everybody's career is different. You know, you got the Olympians who come in and they got everything, you know. But then you got guys like me. I didn't make it to the Olympic team. And not saying those Olympians didn't have to work. I mean, they had to work hard, no doubt. But, you know, they got a lot of access to other things. And they worked for it. They got it. They earned it. But then you got guys like me. And I know O'Neal Bell personally. And me and O'Neal Bell, we used to spar in the gym a lot right when he first turned pro. And that dude had probably like 5 amateur fights. So I know he started from the bottom. You know, the bottom. And he became unified cruiserweight champion. So, but there's mistakes that were made there. There's mistakes that I made that could have been, that I possibly could have dodged if I'd known, well, hey, this and that. Well, you know, IRS, you know, or you know, get a corporation, or you should know, get a lawyer. You should know this percentage is more fitting than that percentage. I know fighters who were given 35% to managers. One fighter was given 45% of his purse up. You know, 45% to management and training. This dude, and then you still got to pay taxes after all of that. It's ridiculous, man. So we were thinking just holding some class, man, just talking to these people, these young men, these kids. Some of them are in the 19s, 20s, and just giving them a little heads up. Hey, this, that, this, that. This is a proper percentage. This is what to expect. Look at these. Some of these contracts say this on one page, and you flip it over, and it's nullifying all that here. You know, so I think boxing needs that because the NBA has it, the NFL has it. You know, boxing needs it.
I agree. Boxing union especially. I mean, if they could just pull out, you know, 2 or 3%, anything small. I mean, compared to what some of these people make. I mean, hell, Terrence Crawford. I mean, he's still coming up. Now, don't get me wrong. He's a big name, and he's amazing.
Yeah.
But he's made what 1.25 I think in his last fight against Postal, and I mean he's not that big of a name. You know what I mean? He's not no Pacquiao. So just 2 or 3%, man, and you get what you put into it.
Yeah.
And I think it could do a lot of help for all these other fighters that are out here, you know, broken alone.
I know
a lot of people say like, you know, they don't know how to spend money and all this other shit. Well, they still deserve, I think, at least a steady paycheck. They don't need.
No doubt. I mean, you gotta look at this is the thing what people really don't understand with fighters. We get paid. I fought once this year, so the amount of money that I made with the Glavatsky fight, I have to use that till my next fight. I don't know when I'm fighting again, really. You know, maybe I'm scheduled to fight late October, but let's say the dude I'm fighting gets an injury, or I get an injury. Or something happens with the show, then I'm on hold until whenever, you know, whenever that fight has to go back down in June, or next January or February. So all of that money that I had in the Glavatsky fight, I must manage that. You know, rent, car note, you know what I'm saying, insurance, bills. I gotta manage that up until I fight again. And a lot of fighters don't really think like that. You know, they don't really understand that because they haven't been taught. You know what I mean? You have to be taught how to live like that because, I mean, here it is. I was in the Navy for 4 years, and for 4 years, all I had to do was go to the bank and check my balance, you know, on the 1st and the 15th. My check was there, you know, and all right, boom, okay, $400 for rent, $200 for car, you know, food, and then and as a boxer, and I know this because when I was making peanuts, and then I started making good money, it was, dang, I'm trying to buy the stuff that I should have had. You know what I mean? from them few years ago. Well, damn, I need a car. You know, damn, I need to redo our bathroom. Oh, but you got to pay taxes. It's like, all right, let's just give him this much. You know, let's give Uncle Sam this much. I'll get him on the next fight. You know, fighters need to learn, man, there's certain ways to do stuff. And so we got to manage the money, and a lot of people aren't good with money management like that over long periods of time. Let's say you got $200,000 in your bank right now. That's all you got for the whole year. That's all you got until January. So you got 200 G's. Man, I can go get that $50,000 truck. I can get this $200 sneaks. You know what I mean? You can do this, you can do that, and then next thing you know, you down to there $25,000, and it's October. You know, and the kids need school clothes. You know, so people who say, well, the fighter should have did this, fighter should have did that. I just wish they could live like that for a second, because it's heavy. You know, I mean, it is. Oh yeah, it's a lot of money. Yeah, we got a lot of money, but dudes gotta listen. You got a lot of fighters from the ghetto, from the hood, from low-income families. You know, my mom, I'm making money that my mom never even dreamt of making. You know, she raised us on less than $30,000 a year, 3 kids. You know, and it's like, somebody tell me they're gonna pay me $30,000 for a fight. I'm like, hey, get the heck out of here. You know, it's like, wow, look at this. You know, but it's like, still, I got to manage that money. Just like she had to take that $30,000 a year and spread it out to provide for us, I got to take X amount and span it out. Then you got lifestyles. That's why me and my wife, man, we live a certain way, man. We keep it small, baby. We keep it small. Oh, my goodness. You don't see me with the jewels. You don't see me, my wife got a new truck from last year, but I still got my truck from 8 years ago. It's a good truck. You know, and you just gotta be smart, man. You gotta be smart. We can't all be Adrian Broner.
Ain't that the truth? All right, Steve. You don't really keep it too long. I didn't expect it to be this long, actually.
That's cool.
Interesting conversation, so it just kind of ran.
Hey, can I ask one more question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask you on the matchup. I don't know if you saw Andre Ward and Brand fight this weekend. What do you think about Ward and Kovalev, that matchup?
We were talking about this today at the gym. You know, guy asked me what do I think, who I think's going to win, and I'm like, I'm going to watch that fight. I believe Andre Ward's going to win. You know, I believe he is, because he is a mix of Floyd Mayweather, Bernard Hopkins. You know what I'm saying? He's a good mesh of those two styles. And his intelligence, but he's got that Bernard Hopkins intelligence, that Floyd Mayweather intelligence and reaction. It's just a good mesh. Now, don't get me wrong, Kovalev is a good fight, damn good fighter, you know. But I'm looking at Andre Ward this fight to see how and if he nullifies Kovalev's power. You know, that's what I'm going to be looking for. For one, because I want to steal, you know, and I train my boys. But so I'm really just taking and learning and giving to them and me. But I just want to see how he does it. You know what I mean? It's going to be amazing, because he's such a brilliant fighter. I believe they will have a plan to do it. Him and Virgil. You know, Virgil's no joke. I believe they will, and I want to see how they attempt to execute it, and if they are successful. Now, if he's not successful, it could be a KO. You know, because Kovalev's got, I don't know what he got in his right hand. You know, but it's putting dudes to sleep, you know. So it's going to be one of them fights where you're going to be on the edge of your seat, but Andre Ward's not going to make it that exciting Steve Cunningham Glavatsky, you know, type thing, because he's just, you know, he's intelligent, and he makes guys fight the way he wants them to, you know, and I want to see that.
All right. Well, again, Steve, thank you very much. I also wanted to say I had money on you in the Tyson Fury fight. And my buddy called me crazy, and you were winning the whole thing. When you dropped him, he looked at me and he was like, "Damn you!"
Yeah, I was ready to damn levitate out of the stadium after I dropped him. But the main thing was Nazim said in training camp, he said, "Yo, you're gonna sit him on his back pockets with this overhand right," and we drilled you and under, boom, boom, all day, all camp, man. We did that, As soon as he threw that lazy jab, I don't even remember making the thought to move. It just happened. Whoop, bow. And I was like, oh, wow. And I stunned him a couple more times in there. The one thing that I say did go wrong in that Tyson Fury fight, of course, I believe he should have been DQ'd and all that. But before that, the one thing that I do know was wrong with me was that Adamek fight. You know, that fight before I fought Tyson Fury was the Adamek fight, and I felt I pitched a 8.5, you know, and I lost. So me being a fighter and a champion, I'm thinking, of course I know I got cheated, but still in the back of my mind is like, yo, I didn't win that fight in everybody's eyes. I should win so clearly that they can't cheat me, you know, and I felt I should have. So with the Tyson Fury fight, it was like, I felt I had to fight him more in order to convince these judges that I'm winning rounds. That's what I felt like, you know, and I shouldn't have. You know, I should have moved more and more, just box way more. I did it, but at times then I went on the inside and tried to wrestle with the damn giant, and it just didn't. It was beneficial for him and not me, you know. So he was able to do what he did, but it is what it is, though, man. I see people, man, all over the world. Dudes from UK. I was in Belgium. People are like, man, when you hit Tyson Fury, the world stopped. I was like, you know. So, you know, I'm glad to be part of boxing history, you know, in that sense. I mean, really, every time Tyson Fury fights, they highlight the knockdown. So I'm like, oh. I did that. And then you look at Vladimir Klitschko did none of that. So, you know, it helps me, man. It helps me personally, my little pride. It helps me a little bit, but you know.
Now you say you're going to be cruiserweights. Let's say you get a rematch.
Oh, I would do it, no doubt. Oh, no doubt. Like I said, listen. I'm the same weight. I fought at cruiserweight. I fought at heavyweight. Same thing, you know, 203, 204, 205. Size don't mean nothing to me. You know, it's a fight. It's a fight. I can, you know, and really those bigger guys. They're less dangerous than the cruiserweights are because the cruiserweights are smaller, sharper, and a little faster, but they're just as strong. But you got the heavyweights; they're just big and strong, you know. So, I'll go up. I'll go up anytime. So if that fight, that was the whole, you know, listen, I want to get a belt at cruiserweight, and then I can run right into a heavyweight title fight, you know, vacate that, move right on up if I'm able to fight a champion, and I do that. Should I fight Anthony Joshua? He's big, he's strong, you know, he's young, he's powerful, he's the future. But hey, a fight is a fight, man. I challenge Wilder. It doesn't matter, man. You know, it would be. But Fury, that rematch, I would jump at that. I would totally do that. That would be, that would be good for me. You know, it would be good for me.
I like to see it.
Yeah, right.
All right, Hector, anything else?
No, I think that's all I got, man.
It's good having you on, Steve. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Appreciate it, man. Thanks, guys.
We'll be in touch.
All right.